pocket passing quarterbacks at Jordan Love who really don't have a lot of rushing floor are some of the more difficult quarterbacks to value in Dynasty fantasy football, especially in any type of superflex format, right? Because quarterbacks, in a vacuum are very valuable and you need good quarterbacks to be able to contend in Dynasty. But a guy like Jordan Love, right? He's on a great team. He's on a great offense. He's got a young coaching staff. He's hyper talented. He showed us a lot of flashes that he could be like a top 6, top 7 type quarterback. But, what do we do with a guy like him, right? Like, he had a down season. He had dealt with injuries. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about Jordan Love, man. We're gonna look at some of his stats, some of his ADP. We're gonna look at some trades later on, and we're gonna figure out what to do with him, man. So before I get into this video, I just want to ask you guys, if you want me to review a trade that you have, I'm gonna be doing Dynasty trade reviews in some upcoming videos. But I need trades, man. I need to get trades from you guys. I have no real way to do it, so I did launch a Discord. It's free to join. You can find it in the link down below. You can send me your trades and I'd be happy to review them. You can send me trades that you have done, that you haven't done. And we'll fucking talk them through. So let's get in this video, man. Let's look at Jordan Love. And I have the ADPs pulled up here, just essentially the grid of ADPs. And you see here Jordan Love is being drafted as a quarterback 12. So round 3, 4 turn, just about right. This is just averages. So it's based on like all the different drafts and trades that have gone down in the past couple of weeks. This data gets pulled. This is from Fantasy Calc, just for anybody interested. So just for some context, he's going around. I mean, first let's talk about some of the quarterbacks he's going around. So he's going after CJ Stroud, just before Kyler Murray, before Baker, before Cam Ward, after Bo Nix. So it kind of feels right. Now there's some guys that I really like later, right? Like, for example, just at a glance, we're gonna get into this a little bit deeper, but I really like Bryce Young at his value, 3 rounds later at quarterback 22. I just think Bryce Young showed us a lot. He showed us a lot of really good advanced metrics. He showed us a lot of good tape, especially from like week 10 on last season. He really elevated, man. He really upgraded. He showed that he was the #1 draft pick in his draft class, and he kind of showed it. So moving along, moving down the draft, let's look at his player card real quick. So again, for some context, Jordan Love did get injured last season. He had was it an ankle injury? I think he fucked his ankle up earlier in the season. And then Malik Willis ends up starting for him. Malik Willis actually plays pretty admirably in his stead. So respect to Malik Willis over there. But yeah, we see that Jordan Love, he sits behind Rodgers. He then gets the starting gig in 2023 after Rodgers departs, and he explodes on the scene, man. Quarterback 5, 32 touchdowns, 11 picks. You don't really like to see the picks. Not a lot of rushing upside. He does go 50 attempts for 247 and 4 touchdowns. So he's not a rushing quarterback. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it, don't get that wrong. I think the four touchdowns was like, we'll take that. We love that. That, boosted his floor. That allowed him to be quarterback 5. But in general, Jordan Love isn't really a mobile quarterback. I think that's something that we just need to keep in mind, right? And I think in 2024, he was a quarterback 17 overall, quarterback 19 in points per game, right? So even though he missed a lot of games, we're looking at the points per game, right? And 15.7 points per game is just not what you want to see. Now, you can chalk it up to injuries. You could say that it's because he was injury plagued. But yeah, man, he just failed to match his 2023 numbers. I think for a lot of reasons. I think Josh Jacobs really hurts him, dude. Josh Jacobs had 15 touchdowns. Anytime they were in, within the 10-yard line, you can almost bet that it's going to go to Jacobs. Now, that was potential production that would have been for Jordan Love, right? Josh Jacobs caught 1 receiving touchdown. It was his first in his career. So Jordan Love isn't really getting production off of Jacobs receiving touchdowns. And yeah, man, I think, with only 15 games played, he was injured for some of the other ones. I think we can probably throw this year out. And we can kind of expect, maybe not what he did in 2023, where he had, his quarterback 5. But we can expect at least top 10 production, in my opinion, moving forward. Now, another factor that was kind of fucking them up was that he didn't really have a reliable alpha wide receiver, right? They tried to make Romeo Doubs a thing. They tried to make Christian Watson a thing. Jaden Reed comes in. He's kind of the alpha for them, but he's not really an alpha prototype wide receiver. He runs a lot of close to the line of scrimmage, yards after the catch. Everyone fucking loves calling him the Deebo Samuel role, but he really is, right? His coach, LaFleur, comes from the fucking Shanahan tree. So Jaden Reed was kind of the Debo role, which Shanahan kind of created, I guess, or maybe Debo created it just from his presence there. But in any case, man, I think that some of those things are gonna get fixed, right? Jacobs is a little bit older, so is he gonna have 15 touchdowns again? He could. He can even beat that. But let's just say Jacobs gets injured, right? Or let's say Jacobs regresses a bit to 12, 13, or maybe 11 touchdowns. That stuff can potentially go to Jordan Love. He stays healthy. That'll also increase his overall production, right? Maybe not his points per game, but alpha wide receiver, man. How do we fix that? How does that get fixed? And I think Matthew Golden is going to be that guy. I think the way I view Matthew Golden is kind of like a Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors style wide receiver. I know I just named like three of some of the best wide receivers ever, but he's very agile. He's very fucking fast, dude. 99th percentile 40-yard dash. He's going to help Jordan Love. Jordan Love has lacked a guy who can break off like horizontal runs, dude. Horizontal routes and bust them to the house, right? Like a Jamar Chase or like a Neighbors, like a Waddle, right? He has like, just to give you a little more context, Jayden Reed, close to the line of scrimmage, yards after the catch guy. Romeo Doubs, kind of your end zone guy, right? He can contested catch type of dude. Dontavian Wicks, Stonehands Jackson, dude. He's nothing. He's your fucking I'm gonna drop every pass type of guy. So they lacked kind of that horizontal guy, the intermediate routes. So I am hoping that Matthew Golden is that answer. And what he's going to do is, dude, he's going to elevate Jordan Love, right? Oh, and Christian Watson, by the way, he's in a fucking hyperbaric chamber, dude. He is 1 HP. There's no way that guy's going to be helping them moving forward. So Matthew Golden, I think, is going to slot in. He's already running in two wide receiver sets. So, 26 years old, Jordan Love, dude, I have faith that he can be like a top 10, top 12 at the worst, to be honest. So he has a lot of upside. As I mentioned, guys, just real quick before we move on to some of the trades, send me your trades, man. There's going to be a link to the Discord. You just have to sign up on Patreon. It's free, and you get access to the Discord. You can send me your Dynasty trades. I will review them in the next videos coming up in this next week where I do Dynasty trade reviews. So I want to fire that up, dude. It's a fucking empty, barren Discord, so there's no one in it. It'll literally just be me and you, dude, hanging out, dude, maybe kissing. You never know. So yeah, man, I hope you guys join the Discord. I hope you get some value from it, man. I want to get it popping, dude. I'd love to have you guys in there. Introduce yourself if you do join. And yeah, man, let's get into these trades, dude. Let's pop open these trades. So I pulled 3 trades from fantasycalc.com because there was a lot of dog shit, dude. But I pulled some that I think are realistic. And the first one's Jordan Love for a 2026 second and a 2027 first. Now, as I mentioned, superflex league, right? So you are essentially saying, I'm giving up. Let's just pretend it was this draft. So let's say the 2026 was this year. You're essentially saying, I'm giving up a guy like Kyle Williams, potentially Bashal Tutin, maybe a Luther Burden if it's like an early second round pick. And you're giving up a 2027 first. Now, that 2027 first could be the like QB1 in that class, right? It could also be the end of the 2027 first round, and that could be a fucking running back or a wide receiver, like one of the lesser safe wide receivers. So this is a very risky trade, I think, because you're getting the for sure thing. You're getting a 26-year-old quarterback on a really good offense with a really good coaching staff that has a really dynamic offense that I think they're going to be a top scoring offense moving forward. I think you got to go with Jordan Love here, man. As I mentioned, in a superflex league, like the 2027 first round pick, you just don't know what that's going to be. It's too far out. You even by looking at the team that it's coming from, you just can't tell what that pick's going to be. I'm sorry. And the second round pick in 2026, also, man, like the chance that second round picks really pay off, it's still a bit low, right? Like you could, let's say you do get a QB who's like a Jackson Dart, right? Let's say you get a Jackson Dart type player. We don't know if he's gonna pan out. Jordan Love showed that he's like a franchise QB, so you got to go with the franchise QB. Moving on now, next trade, it's Jordan Love and a 2026 second for RJ Harvey, Jerry Jeudy, and a 2027 third round pick. Now, I'm not as high on RJ Harvey as a lot of people, so I think you'll be surprised to hear that I am going to go with the Jordan Love side here. I just think RJ Harvey, running backs in Superflex Dynasty leagues, I view running backs this way. when I feel like my wide receiver core, my quarterback room, and my tight end, if it's a tight end premium, when it's solidified, that's when I then go in on running backs. That's when I'll then buy like a veteran running back, an Alvin Kamara, a Derrick Henry, a motherfucking CMC this year, dude, very underpriced for what he could give you. So that's the way that I approach the running back position. So I'm biased, dude. You don't have to take my advice, but that's just the way that I view running backs. So because of that, RJ Harvey isn't a tantalizing piece in this trade to me. Neither is the 2027 third round pick. That's essentially nothing. So you're essentially saying, I'm going to give you RJ Harvey, who, dude, imagine if he ends up being Jonathan Brooks. RJ Harvey. Imagine he tears his ACL. Then he comes back next year and he tears it again. Like, running backs, they have no leash, dude. Jonathan Brooks is probably going to be useless. I don't know what you can even trade him for this year. So a quarterback, even if he tears his ACL this year, he's going to have value next year. Like, he's going to continue being their franchise guy. So I just think running backs, I don't value them that much unless I'm going to go all in. And then at that point, I don't know if it's a rookie that I'm going to want to lean on. So I know that sounds counterintuitive, but you're also getting a 2026 second round pick thrown in, and then Jerry Jeudy, dude. What is Jerry Jeudy? He's gonna be the alpha wide receiver one on the worst team. They're expected to have the worst offense this season. So, and I don't know if that quarterback situation is getting much better. Right? I don't know if Shador is the answer, nor is Dylan Gabriel. So, yeah, I take Love. I take the second round pick, and I run to the bank with that one. To be honest, let me know what you guys think down in the comments if you disagree with that one, because I was kind of on the fence with that with the RJ Harvey, but yeah, I'm just not as excited about running backs, to be honest. Next trade, this one is pretty easy to me as well. Like, fuck Brandon Cooks. I'm not even going to say, I mean, he's nothing in this trade, but you basically get Brandon Cooks, Jacoby Myers, Jordan Love, and you're giving up DK Metcalf, Anthony Richardson, and a 2026 third round pick. Now, keep in mind, this trade did happen after Anthony Richardson's shoulder injury. So it seems like the owner's trying to get off of Anthony Richardson. He's trying to, cut bait. But, Jordan Love is the better QB in this trade. And DK Metcalf, although, wheels seem to be up with Aaron Rodgers coming to town, I just think I'm just not that excited about DK Metcalf in Dynasty, right? I think he can have a great season. But then what, dude? Then maybe Aaron Rodgers retires and they don't have a QB. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is fully cooked this season, right? He's like 83 to 108 years old. So, like, maybe Rodgers is cooked. And then DK Metcalf's going to be essentially nothing, right? And then you're getting Jacoby Myers, who's going to give you production this year. You're getting Jordan Love, who's a franchise, at least the next 5 seasons, you're going to have like top 10 QB production. So I go with Jordan Love there as well. Yeah, man, those are just 3 trades, dude. As I mentioned, send me some trades if you guys do want me to check them out and you want me to talk about them live, or not live, but in the next video. Maybe even live. Maybe I'll start doing some live streams. But in any case, hope you guys like this video, man. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm testing this new format of going in on these, individual players and just really diving deep and to figuring out what we want to do with them. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'll really appreciate a like. It's the best way to show support. If you're new here and you want to catch more of this stuff, a subscribe would also be fucking awesome, dude. It would make my night. In any case, I'll catch you guys in the next one.